The A Show.
Where smart is the new sexy.
And now, April Hunter.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the A Show, and I am late. But you know what? It's my birthday. I'll be late if I want to.
That's right.
Late if I want to. Late if I want to. So, yeah. Hi, we're live. I hope you missed us. I'm April Hunter. This is my lovely, beautiful cousin, Eva D. And
Hello.
We are trying to adjust from being on vacation. We are actually live this week, and we missed you. That's for sure. We see a lot of you here. We see, let's see, Michael and Jay and Brian, Lon, Crazy Train, hi, Alex, Zach, Speedway, Yo. Nice to see you guys. We see more of you filtering in. We actually, realistically, that was just a tactic to wait for you guys to come in. So we wanted to wait for you. Tonight we have another special guest. You guys have asked for female guests. We have provided.
Right on.
So we have Denice Duff. She's an actor or actress, I guess. If we're she's an actress, a photographer, a director. She's multi-talented. So we will be bringing her on shortly. But and she's freaking gorgeous and has a skincare line. So she's an author. She also just published a book called Naturally Skinny My Ass. So that's a title near and dear to my heart. So yeah, she'll be joining us in a short bit, but we're gonna talk about some stuff going on first. Yes, another female guest. I hope you liked Shelly Martinez last week.
Yep.
We couldn't be here to monitor that because we were knee deep in deer pee.
Yes, and we'll share that too. Yes.
Yeah, cool, awesome dude. Steve, Chris War Demon. Oh, cool to see you guys all here. Winona, hello. And don't forget, we're going to do a show and tell craft video in the middle of the month. Winona's on, and we have Rob going to be on. So if you are a crafter, if you make things, we're going to feature you on the show if you want to be on. So bring some things that you want to, promote and where people can find your stuff. And we're going to do a little show and tell and feature your stuff. So, somebody said they love the necklace. Well, you know who gave me this was War Demon, I believe. So this was my birthday. Yeah, it was my birthday gift last year, I think. So I thought it was appropriate. We also have two new things to tell you. We are back on Podbean and Spotify. So you can find us now on Podbean and Spotify. Eva set that up. She's become quite the producer. Super grateful.
I'm trying.
You can look us up on Spotify. It's the A Show with April Hunter and Podbean. Yep. And we have a mailbag. So you can send your mail or your information to the ashow.aprilhunter@gmail.com. So got that? It's a long one. The ashow.aprilhunter@gmail.com. So
send us the info. I'm watching the email now. See if we can help out and get us back on track with a lot of those things. So send the info on the craft information and Discord. Please send me that Discord information. I would love to get that set up properly.
Calling War Demon. Yes,
War Demon. Please help me with that because I'm a little behind on the whole Discord. I need to learn that, and we hopefully will be on Apple Podcasts by this weekend. I'm trying.
Yeah, we're exhausted. We are so exhausted. I see Madness. I see cool Fury Power. I think I said Cool Awesome Dude already. This is where we are mentally. So we pulled an all-nighter to get up to Western North Carolina. We pulled an all-nighter to get back. The car broke down. 2 hours into it. We had to get a rental car. That was a fiasco because we're trying to get a rental car on that Friday right before closing. We had no choice but to take a minivan because that's all that was left. We got to experience a hybrid. Good things and bad things, but it was interesting. But we're trying to pack our entire lives plus everything else. We knew we were doing a volunteer kind of mission up at a wildlife rescue. Plus, we knew we were working on the land too, so there's so much stuff we had, and we're cramming it in. You would think a minivan has a lot of room, but it does not, because there's all that seating. So we were just shoving things in nooks and crannies. And then we got back and had to pick up the broken car that had just been in the shop, $600. Picked up the broken car, and what little air conditioning it had was kaput. So 2.5 hours drive back into Florida at 93 degrees in the heat of the day. It was like lunchtime. So yeah, it has not been. It's been an interesting thing, but
no, it's not fixed yet.
God, yeah, it's been brutal. But I will say, I came home. I've got a little pile of gifts here. I'm looking over them. A little pile of gifts here that from. I appreciate that. Thank you. I love, if you've gotten anything from my Amazon wish list or sent me an Amazon gift card, thank you. I absolutely love that. It's a perfect fit. It's my color. It works wonders for shows and shoots. We're about to do a Halloween shoot. I'm supposed to pick up a couple of things there. That's where I go to, go find my skeleton stuff or whatever I need, shoes. So shoots and shows, pets, emergencies. So Amazon gift card is perfect and so appreciated. You have no idea.
Yeah.
So grateful. So grateful.
And things break over time. Your shoes break. Things just happen. You're doing these shoots, and honestly, I've been on enough of the shoots to see what April goes through. It's shocking the amount of things that can go wrong. Just so you guys can see these beautiful pictures.
Oh my God, my Harley Quinn shoot where one boot broke, so I'm flapping around in Ybor City with one boot broken, and then even on this trip, my walking shoes broke. Which I got the shoe glue. So I bought shoe glue. Excellent. So I tried to fix them because they're little Skechers. So, but again, Amazon, thank you. So, and I hate using a corporation like Amazon, yet I do like shopping in my underwear in my own house. So, Wolf, thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you, Mr. Sosa. I appreciate you. So yeah, it's been a week. You guys want to see some? Oh, go ahead. What?
I was just going to say, hey, and if anybody's out there just listening, please log in, say hello, let us know you're here. Please share the show.
Yes.
If you prefer the audio, don't forget, go to Podbean now, Spotify, look it up. Coming soon to more things. And yes, Michael, I think she does have unbreakable boobs.
No, they're not unbreakable.
How about? What?
Remember a couple years ago they broke. We did a fundraiser for them because it was the middle of COVID. I'd lost all my bookings. It was unbelievable how expensive it was, and it happened when my dog, had what was called degenerative myelopathy (DM). She was in a wheelchair. She was paralyzed, so she ran in front of me as I was running this way. She tripped me. I fell on tile. And I basically chipped my elbow, messed up my hip, and then I didn't realize the extent of what happened until the next day. And all of a sudden, my boob just deflated. And I was like, what is happening here? And because it was during COVID, everything was shut down. Everything. I had to wait over a month to get in there. And by that time, my breast tissue had encapsulated around the bag. So it was terrible. So yeah, tit starter, Lon. We called it boob gate.
Yes, we did. I was waiting for you to say that. Yes.
Yeah, we called it boob gate. And these that's why these are crowdfunded. So basically these are your boobs. These are the people's boobs. So they're not even my boobs. So you all own them. You guys have shares. So
Michael's right. They are survivors.
Yeah, they are. So these are the people's boobs.
War Demon, thank you. Can you send that to the email, please?
Thank you.
Help me out there, please, Chris. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Before I forget, if you guys are in the Florida area, I'm in Orlando this weekend. I'm going to spend my birthday weekend at I know, Michael. I'll be at Fanboy Expo this weekend on Saturday only with Eva. We're going to be well, basically, honestly, we're going to be
Mhm.
celebrating my birthday, but we're also going to be
Yeah.
trying to make a few dollars too. But Fanboy
Mhm.
is one of my all-time favorite Comic Cons. It
Yes.
is one of the best Comic Cons ever. It's just
It
fun,
is.
and they're going
It
to do the
is super
Blockbuster
fun.
experience. So, be
Mhm.
kind, everyone.
There's so many people going to be there, including
Yeah,
April.
yeah.
And
There's gonna it is star packed, this one, and it's a
Mhm.
lot of classics. A lot of people we grew up with and loved watching, and a lot of new people too. So it's going to be a great
Mhm.
one. So I will be there on Saturday if you want to come out and hang out. And thank you, Brian. See, Brian's a shareholder. I know Steve's a shareholder. So, and I will also, yes, I will also be at Screams, Tampa Bay Screams in obviously Tampa Bay at the OCC Roadhouse, which is a fun venue on the 30th. So it's the day before Halloween. We are really doing, we say we're doing an appearance, but it's really a Halloween party with a costume party, the whole
That
thing.
place is awesome.
Yeah, it is. It is a good party with live music, the whole thing. So I'll be signing there, and we'll be having a good time. So I'll be in Orlando first, then Tampa Bay, and then I'll be out in Vegas doing the Matriarch wrestling show out there November 7th.
That's
Um,
cool.
and we're doing customs out there too. So if you are, I mean to advertise this, I have not yet, but there, um, if you're familiar, I can't even like say who it's. I'm blanking because I have not officially worked for this company before, but I've worked with several of the people who are now running it. So yeah, we'll be in Vegas doing the Matriarch thing November 7th. And if you happen to be out there, or if you want to book a custom, book that now. It's through Oyanka and Jennifer. Oh my God, the bodybuilder chick who's super hot, pretty girl. Oh, blanking.
Yeah, don't ask me those
Yeah,
names.
yeah. My brain. We haven't had enough sleep yet. And then, of
Oh,
course, at the end
no.
of the month, Thanksgiving weekend, I'll be at WrestleCade. So in North Carolina,
That's
in
right.
Winston-Salem. So,
Yeah.
oops,
So every couple weeks she's going to be somewhere. So you guys will keep announcing it. Watch out for her, or her social media. You'll. So, and she has new scents on candles and melts.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I already did. I did some Christmas ones ahead of time. I didn't do typical Christmas stuff because everybody can get that. I decided to take Eva's advice and not do typical stuff, and I did some atypical. So we did one called Reindeer Fuel. We, meaning I, did Reindeer Fuel, which is espresso, sugar cookies, and chocolate chip cookies with a hint of peppermint. So that's the new Christmas
Pretty
one.
amazing.
Yeah, and I did pumpkin cardamom. It's called Winter is Coming. And then
Sorry, I love
it's
that
very
one.
spicy. And then I did a harvest. God, what's that one called? Harvest, which is like apple orchard and spicy peaches and pumpkin pie and patchouli. It's like a little bit of everything. So I've done, and I think all of these are available in soaps too. So I've done a few new ones. So I will have them with me.
Yes, and your Etsy site is back open. Am I correct?
It is. I had it on vacation most of the year because thank you, Michael. It was
Yeah, her soaps are awesome.
It's just been, it's more than this administration, for previous administration too. The cost of the products have gotten so expensive that between the fees and the products and the shipping and everything, just wasn't making a profit. So I just shut it. But I do like making this stuff.
It's fun, and I appreciate the opportunity. I've learned a lot of the work and the love she puts into those soaps and candles, and occasionally I get to have some and try it, which is very good.
You always get a percentage of something, whether it's melts or soaps or whatever.
I'm not selling them. I paid for them. I know I did.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna share. I'll show you a quick video. I'll give you a peek.
Oh, thank you.
Hang on. Let me find this for you.
On which peak are we looking at?
This will be the deer one. Now, mind you, we spent the 9 days avoiding makeup and tight clothing, so there is absolutely zero glamour involved.
I know we look like shit.
Yeah, we do.
Well, we look like relaxed people.
Yeah,
which is how it should be when you're on vacation.
Yeah,
and cuteness is overload with these deer. So
yes.
This is a deer rescue that needs some serious help up in North Carolina. They
do.
live on nothing but donations. And just the goat milk alone to feed just the baby deer that they have at the moment, it was $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
And it's all run by volunteers. And I've done wildlife rescue before, but this place was amazing. So did you?
Yeah, I'm finding it. Hang on, I'm setting it up.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty prolific here. The amount of work involved, I mean, unbelievable.
Your whole life is dedicated to these things.
All right. I've forgotten how to do this in the week that we were off. Okay, hang on. Here we are. Share screen. Here we are. Okay.
All right. Here's some cuteness, you guys.
All right.
Remember, it was cool out up there, too. Oh, this is.
There goes some music.
Yes. I thought the
you get an A for effort on that.
I tried to do another one before the show, and I couldn't get it done fast enough. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You had the other two videos that you had put in there too, with the deer. And do you see them in there? You dropped them in today as well.
No, we'll keep it simple because we wanted to just talk about the TV too, real quick, and read something so that we're not rushing too much.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, like this rescue is one of the only ones that does a walk and release. So she goes walking around the mountain and releases them if they want to go. And she walks with the mountain dogs. The mountain dogs protect them. So it's a really neat system, and it's the deer will come back in the evenings to say hi. So they will. That's when we're standing on the fence and the inside, and you see them on the outside. They all come back. So she'll throw them some snacks, and
even when they get older and grow horns. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
the antlers. Yes. The antlers said he will butt you.
Yes, they all needed to be fed, and they were all very, very. I've never seen a baby suck down a bottle that fast, and then another, and then another. So.
Yes, and they're all tagged with names. They name them all. They're so cute.
Yeah.
So anyway.
She knows them all.
They could use your sport: Green Mountain Deer Rescue and Rehabilitation.
Maze. So you guys were asking about the TV. We started to tell you about the the workaround to get around paying for 1,000 different streaming channels. We finally got it set up. If you're still interested, this TV situation. Again, it's a gray area. We're not allowed to advertise it, but we are allowed to talk about it word of mouth. We do have a short video of about 7 or 8 minutes with a demonstration explaining everything, showing you the channels. If you're a sports fan, this is for you. Eva, you want to explain it, and you want to put the link in the.
Actually, I am going to throw it in the link right now.
Yeah, we're going to put the link in the chat. You might be able to say the link too if you want.
Yes.
I guess we can't.
Okay. Yeah. So here's the scoop. Basically, when you look at the video, or if you want to reach out to either one of us, you can actually email us at the A Show email address we provided, the ashow.aprilhunter@gmail.com, and we could send you the link privately as well. So basically, it's a box that is pre-programmed just for you, and the service is you don't pay for the first box, and the service is available at a set fee per month, and it includes thousands of channels around the world.
Yeah.
After looking at
everywhere.
It multiple times throughout the week while we were on vacation and trying multiple different things.
Yeah, we tried it in the city and up in the mountains just to see if it buffered, how it did.
It's portable, so all you need is Wi-Fi anywhere. It hooks into HDMI, and there is parental controls. There is closed caption. There is anything and everything of all your normal stuff you have now that you wouldn't have to pay for with that. Plus all the sports packages are included. Every package.
What is that NFL package? It's like $500.
Oh, it's more than that actually, and it's only the Sunday ticket, and it's more than $700.
That's included.
And this is included.
it's
There's
included.
no commercials unless it's live TV. You can't control that.
And like when if you watch games, you know, they're blacked out.
Yeah, there is no
or
blackouts.
You can log into the other, the other, and you can watch that game live. So because it's a global network. So,
Yes.
yes.
So, and the price is phenomenal. Honestly, I wasn't really sure about it. I had to check it out myself, spent some time looking at it over and over. Tried it at my house. We tried it up there.
Prime, Netflix, Hulu,
everything.
Everything.
It is endless.
Everything.
Everything.
So,
movies, pay-per-view events, everything is included.
UFC, WWE, all of it.
And you can add on and get more boxes. You can do, and they're little. They're like this big. So it's travel size. Let me put it that way. Remote, everything, all your voice, everything just like you already have at home, just in a portable device. One option. You can do whatever you want with it. So look at the video. Reach out to us. There is different packages, monthly, 3 months, 6 months, annual. And if you get more, first one's free, etc., etc. We have a price thing set up. We can send you private.
I mean, it is a low price.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
and it is legal.
I mean, it's
legal.
like, it is. Yeah, it's a low price, meaning probably less than less than 2 streaming channels. So, definitely, let us know. We just want to make sure we thoroughly vetted it first before pushing it. And Durango girl, thank you. Thank you. It's my birthday. So moving. Go ahead. Huh?
No, I was just say check the link, reach out to us, any questions you have on all the other platforms. You know how to find both of us. Or email it. I will be checking email and I will respond.
Okay. And War Demon says you might have to re-add the Discord link for a show craft day. Please do.
Woohoo. Thank you very much.
I wanted to cover a couple things real fast before we welcome our guest. We couldn't have picked a better week to take off. The internet and social media seemed especially toxic and crazy. It still does. And Jameer, hi. So I saw something written by a psychiatrist. And Jameer, I was just saying earlier that I'm gonna open my gifts actually on my birthday.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. So, and I'm gonna take pictures and send video to anybody who sent me anything. So I will be doing that. So if you have something in there, I will take a picture or send a video to you guys. And if I know there's a sender, Amazon's like hit or miss with that sender notice, but I will be doing that. So thank you. Yeah, but I wanted to. I am concerned, and you know that I've said this multiple times before. I mean, I constantly express concern about what we're putting out online because everything is energy so contagious. So I wanted to address a couple of things out there. And Allie, I see your thing. I understand that. So everything is tight right now for everybody. So I appreciate you being here.
Yes.
So I appreciate all of you being here. Thank you very, very much. So it's nice to see you. It's nice when you guys come back. Thank you. So here's one thing that I wanted to address real quickly. A lot of people are having a lot of outrage with the whole Tylenol autism thing right now, and I'm seeing a lot of propaganda. We have posted all these things before. We've talked about it before. Thank you, Lori. It was actually from War Demon. I believe it was, right? This was this is from War Demon last year. So what I wanted to mention is that the Tylenol being linked to a slight possibility of autism did not come from this administration, and it did not come from RFK Jr. So pushing back and hating an administration just because we're reactive and emotional doesn't make any sense when the words and the information can be valuable to humanity. So as a woman, I find it really interesting that so many men are saying, no, this is stupid. No, this is stupid. No, this is stupid. And it's like, well, as a female, I would want to know if there was even the slightest chance the slightest chance of anything that would harm my baby. So you're going to tell me that I can't have a glass of wine, even though, well, French women are allowed to have a glass of wine. I can't eat a shellfish. I can't have raw cheese, but Tylenol's fine. So what was taken out of context is that in Sweden, they do offer a warning. Here, they do not. So I'm just going to cover this real fast. All of this did not come from the Trump administration or the Biden administration or even RFK. This came from Harvard. So, and it came from Harvard a while ago. And it also came from several other medical journals. RFK Jr. is only bringing it to light. So he's just the messenger. So people love to shoot that messenger. But I wanted to mention that Tylenol is made by Johnson & Johnson. Johnson & Johnson has been fined since 2000 over $25 billion because of bad drugs and lying to the public. So bear that in mind when people are raging for the machine, that a lot of these companies, these pharmaceutical companies, are so wealthy beyond belief. They own everything and everybody, from politicians to the media. I mean, look at the Sacklers. The Sacklers made billions. They funneled millions into accounts. They left more than 500,000 people dead because of Oxycontin. They knew the problems. They hid them. It all came out in court, and then they claimed bankruptcy after it all. So this has been a pattern over and over and over again with pharmaceuticals. So I don't understand why people would rush to defend Tylenol and say there's no way this could happen. Of course it could happen. If there's even a slight chance, we deserve to know it. So think about that. Use common sense. Don't think reactively or emotionally, or I hate Trump or I hate RFK. We got to stop thinking that way. We've got to stop thinking like, oh, I hate this person, so I'm going to do this. Because quite honestly, it is so strange to do that. So, and I see Rum here. Jamie, what's up? So that's it. A horror host. Hi. So what's up?
Can I comment on that real quick before
Yes,
you move
please
on to
do.
the next topic? I looked up out of curiosity since somebody had said to me, hey, I bet you they're invested in ibuprofen. I was like, who makes ibuprofen? So multiple companies make ibuprofen. There isn't just one. It does include Bayer and Pfizer, and some of it does come from Johnson also.
Yeah.
So it isn't a money invested thing. I was wondering that too. I'm like, and there's more companies that make that obviously than Tylenol. And everything has some kind of adverse side effects. And again, as a female, you have to think of those things of what you're putting in your body goes to your child, whether you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding.
I think the main thing is we deserve to have the full story, all the information, instead of just partial information. So
I know who that is. I know who it
yeah.
is. We will see you soon, sir. Next month.
So here's something I wanted to just real quick read this to you. It's going to take me about 2 minutes, but this is if you've been confused or perplexed at what's going on, and I could put this up on the screen while I'm reading it.
Sure,
I don't
ahead.
know if that would be better. It's written by a psychiatrist or a psychotherapist. I don't know if I should do that, but this might explain a lot, and it might make it so it's not so personal. So Dr. Kimberly Benson, LMHC, CAP, CCTP, a whole bunch of other letters behind her name, wrote this the other day, and I found it fascinating. It's called We're Living in Real Life Hunger Games. So bear with me while I read this real quick, because I think it's really interesting, and maybe you will too. When I watch how people respond to death in our current world, I can't help but think of the Hunger Games. In the story, the Capitol turned children fighting to the death into entertainment, and the crowd, hungry for distraction, cheered. Today, we don't watch arenas, but we do watch comment sections, social media feeds, and news outlets where people openly celebrate human suffering and death. This is not just about politics or ideology. This is about humanity. And every single one of us has a role in what kind of humanity we are all creating. The psychology behind hate and celebration of death. From a psychodynamic lens, Hate and judgment are often defenses. When we haven't faced our own grief, shame, or wounds, it's easier to project them outward. To dehumanize others is, in part, to escape facing the painful truth about ourselves. It creates the illusion of power when deep down we feel powerless. Object relations theory explains how this works. When people cannot hold others as whole objects with both good and bad qualities, they split. They make someone all good or all bad. But this isn't mature functioning. This is a regression. So she explains regression acting from the age of 2. Psychologically, splitting reflects an early developmental stage, often around the age of 2 years old. At this stage, a child has not yet integrated the idea that a caregiver can be both loving and frustrating at the same time. The world is black or white. Mommy is good when she feeds me, and mommy is bad when she withholds. When adults celebrate the death of another, when they cannot see complexity in human beings, they're not acting as mature, grown adults. They're reacting from this regressed state, stuck in a toddler-like extreme. Erik Erikson identified this stage as autonomy versus shame and doubt. Adults who regress here often bounce between defiance, I'm right, you're wrong, and projection of shame, you're bad, not me. Donald Winnicott called maturity the capacity for ambivalence, the ability to hold both love and hate for the same person without falling apart. Celebrating death shows a collapse of that capacity. In other words, when we dehumanize others, we reveal our own immaturity. Projection, what we can't face in ourselves. Another defense at play here is projection. When someone celebrates death, what they are really doing is attacking the parts of themselves they cannot bear to face. So if I can locate all that's bad in you, then I don't have to acknowledge it in me. Projection offers temporary relief, but keeps us blind to our own wounds. Social media has become a massive projection field, with everyone tossing their unresolved pain outwards instead of metabolizing it. This is why the world feels so toxic. We're drowning in unprocessed inner material masquerading as moral righteousness. That one really hit me, especially after being offline for 9 days in the woods, talking to real people where everything's real peaceful. You go from, all of this, and then you walk outside and you're like, so I really, really highly recommend getting off the screens and taking those breaks, because I believe that really makes sense from this therapist. I think she really nailed it on that part. So I'm almost done. I just will finish because I think a lot of this, I'm not going to say one thing or the other on how everything's gone this past week. I just want to give you something to think about that maybe makes sense or can make sense of what has been going on, so that it's not so confounding and confusing. Group psychology, the mob mentality. Freud's group psychology and the analysis of the ego, and Wilfred Bions' work on the groups reminds us people regress more easily in groups than alone. In groups, people lose individuality and merge with the mob, finding justification for cruelty they would never express alone. The cheering crowds in the Hunger Games mirror this perfectly. Collective trauma numbs compassion, and cruelty becomes entertainment. I keep thinking of like the Romans throwing, Christians to the lions and stuff like that. Feel like we're going back to those times. Modern parallels, online mobs, partisan celebrations of death, viral shaming. When we join the crowd in dehumanization, we think we're part of something larger, but in truth, we've just abandoned our humanity to belong. The addiction of hate. Now, this is something I've talked about before. I've called it anger porn. And my theory is that so many people have taken SSRIs or on antidepressants, and we don't feel as much as we should. So anger releases like a dopamine. It makes us feel. She brings that up too. The addiction of hate. There's also a very addictive quality to hate. Just like drugs or alcohol, hate gives a chemical high. Outrage and judgment flood the brain with adrenaline and dopamine. People become hooked on outrage because it numbs grief and helplessness. Hate offers a false sense of control, a quick hit of superiority. But like all addictions, it leaves emptiness in its wake and fuels more of the same cycle. This is why celebrating suffering feels so powerful in the moment, but is destructive in the long run. It's an escape from inner pain that only deepens the wound. Accountability. The arena isn't out there, it's in us. Every post you share, every comment you make, every joke at another's expense is a vote for what kind of world we're all living in. Are you feeding the arena or are you dismantling it? When we celebrate death, we thicken the air with hate. When we judge without curiosity, we fuel division. When we choose empathy, even when it's really uncomfortable, we breathe life into a different possibility. This is not abstract, it's personal. The rage, the contempt, the judgment you project outwards, these are reflections of the unresolved wounds within you. Until you face them, you will keep adding to the cycle of destruction. So, the path to integration. There is another way forward. Maturity means learning to hold people as whole objects capable of good and bad, light and dark. It means facing our own wounds instead of projecting them outwards. Integration is the opposite of splitting. It allows us to see complexity in others and in ourselves. Healing begins when we stop running from our pain and start taking responsibility for it and accountability for it. Collective healing begins when we recognize that the arena only exists if we keep feeding it. So, in conclusion, a collective choice. We are either moving forward to a culture of hate or a culture of healing. Neutrality does not exist here, and every choice matters. Cheering death is not justice. It is not strength. It's cowardice. Empathy is not weakness. It is rebellion. It is resistance. And it is really the only victory. So those are her words.
Love that.
That's something we need to think about. We need to take responsibility for ourselves. We need to think before we post. We need to think about what we're sharing. We need to think about the energy we're putting out there because all energy is contagious.
Mm-hmm.
So, Eva, what's your opinion on that?
Well, that's why we saw what we saw, I think. One feeds the other. And there's some pretty rough stuff out there. And I am glad we did not see a lot of that. I'm sorry we came back to hear about a lot of that.
Yeah.
But it was very nice to see, apparently on Sunday, there was a lot of good gatherings that happened to celebrate life and with no hatred or bias. And I thought that was good. Bring people together, spread healing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's up to us. If we want to live, I think it was MLK, right? He said, be the change you wish to see. I might be quoting the wrong person, but really it's up to us. No one's going to come in. There's no white knight going to save us. There's no government going to save us. Nobody's going to save us.
We have to do that ourselves.
We have to do it. It's up to us. So if you want to see a better world, if you want a better world for yourself, your mental health, your children, your spouse, your friends, we have to do it. It's up to us.
Right on. So, thank you for reading that. I appreciate that.
So that's all right. Sorry it was so long, but and Winona says mob mentality is also a breeding ground for group psychosis.
It sure is.
Yes, and Michael says we all get angry at times, can't harbor anger and hate, got to heal in time. And it's okay to get angry. Anger is natural. It's okay to be sad. Feel your feelings. But we have to think sometimes, take a breath. So, take a breath. That's all.
Superman? Oh, there's always going to be Superman. Come on, War Demon. And Superwoman. Look at April.
Exactly.
Superwoman. There you go. All right.
So let me introduce Denice. She's here. So let me give her the proper. She sent me a wonderful bio, and I want to read it. So Denice Duff. Most of you probably already know her because she's very active with her fans, and she She's very active on TikTok too. Denice Duff, blah, 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 blah. I can do it. I just read so much, my mouth is dry. Denice Duff is an award-winning photographer, director, actress, and now skincare founder. I might add that she's absolutely gorgeous. She is also an author, and she's just multifaceted, multi-talented. She starred in dozens of national commercials and has appeared on hit shows from CSI Miami to The Young and the Restless. Horror fans know her as the star of Full Moon Entertainment's legendary Subspecies vampire series of the 90s, returning 25 years later when produced by Charlie Band, resurrected the franchise with Subspecies V, Blood Rise, filmed on location in Serbia. Most recently, she co-starred in the asylum horror film The Exorcist, acting alongside Hellraiser legend Doug Bradley. Drawing on her decades spent in the chairs of top Hollywood makeup artists and dermatologists, along with her 4 generations of Italian beauty wisdom, Italiano, Denice founded a luxe line of results-driven natural skincare products called In Your Face Skincare.
I love
The
it.
company, I know, I do too. The company has earned a spot in each of the last 2 years on the Inc. 5000 list as one of the fastest growing private companies in the United States. She has also recently released her book and her health and wellness book, Naturally Skinny, My Ass, Healthy Eating Simplified, which hit #1 bestseller in 5 categories on Amazon and Kindle. One of Denice's greatest passions is connecting directly with her community. I can attest to this. She does. Every Wednesday night, she goes live on her company TikTok account for 5 hours straight, answering questions and demonstrating products. As she puts it, it's my QVC meets Comedy Central. Customers affectionately describe her as a little I Love Lucy, a little Wonder Woman, aging about as slow as a vampire. So without further ado, let's welcome Denice. Yay!
Hey, okay,
Hey.
wait. Oh, ho. All right, I want to make am I officially on?
You are
Yes.
officially on.
Okay.
Welcome.
First of all, what beautiful stuff you were reading. I'm like, this is deep and meaningful, and I'm honored. I feel like I don't want to talk about vampire fangs.
No, we talk about the light and the heavy. So
Okay.
Yeah.
trust me, they want to
Oh
hear
my
about
God.
they want to hear your vampire story.
Hi, Michael. Oh my God,
So-
the PTSVD. Yes, I just with Crazy Train, we did a little a viewing, an online viewing of all 4 of the Subspecies films, and as I'm watching them with the fans in the room, I'm like, oh gosh. I mean, this was many years ago, and I'm seeing, as the vampire is pushing me slamming me into the coffin. I'm like, oh, ouch! I'm getting PTSD. I mean, PTS vampire, PTSVD, and so we coined this for PTSVD.
That's funny.
So I just felt I had to explain. I don't have VD, but I have vampire. It's a vampire.
Give it time.
disorder.
If you're doing life right, you will end up with PTSD.
VD. Thank you. It's kind of true. If you're doing life right, I like that.
There's always the villages.
Oh,
We are in Florida. We are in Florida.
Exactly. There's always the villages.
That's right.
Yeah, so you have. I admit that I became very fascinated with you when I found out that you do a cross country trip every year with your best friend, and you do a camping thing, and you film the whole thing. So tell us about that a little bit, because I think that's so interesting. So you go from Florida to LA, right?
Yes, well, and it started because I'm only God, I say I'm recently in Florida, but it's been since the pandemic, so it's 5 years.
Yeah.
But I'm a New Yorker who grew up in Los Angeles from the time I was 5 years old to 50 years old, and now I'm here in Florida.
How can you be 50 when you're only 35?
I'm not
right?
50. I'm not 50. I'm 60. I just turned 60.
You
my
are
God.
a beautiful 60.
Yeah, I would never.
And I have to lean into saying it only because yes, it does hurt a little bit, but I'm married, so I'm not looking for any 20-year-old to boff me. But the reason that I say I'm 60 is because of my love for 20 and 30 and 40-year-old women who have any neurosis and fear of aging.
That used to be me. That used to be me. I've gotten past it. My biggest issue, why I don't talk about my age, is not because I have a fear of it at all. I don't care. but other people.
But you care enough that this is I'm cutting in. This is good. This is good. So part of my story, this started when I was 49 and about to turn 50. And I was hanging out with a bunch of women, and we were in Tahoe, and we were laying down doing like back stretches. And we were saying, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just turned 49. And 1 year I'm going to be 50. And we're like, oh, we all feel great, right? And then some woman farted, and we all laughed, and right.
Sorry about
And
that.
I know. And then, but the woman, she's like, I don't feel any different. And I've known this woman for a long time, but I've never known her age. I do know she's a few years older. And I said, how old are you? And she goes, oh, well, after she said, I have nothing on my age, I don't care, but she wouldn't tell me. And she goes, it's not me, it's the industry, because I'm a musician.
That's
And
it. And it's the fans too.
But
It's the
here's where I went. I thought, how are we ever going to change the producers, the directors, the fans' viewpoint unless somebody fucking takes the heat?
Yeah.
Because how is anyone ever going to know that a 60-year-old arm could look like that with no flap?
I know.
How is
You're
anyone going to
amazing.
know that like a 6-year-old can have
Let
a
me see.
freaking six-pack and it's
Let me
smooth?
see. Let me see.
Oh,
What?
let's see.
Pictures
wait.
or
I mean,
doesn't.
Let's
Yeah.
see. Let's see.
What?
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
Look at that.
Awesome.
That's that's the new 60 right there.
Right. And it's not like flabby, I mean, I've only had one kid. I suppose if I
I
had
was going
more.
to show mine until I saw yours. So I'm not going to do it now.
So, but I realized that day, the next day,
Great.
I made it a point for my turning to 50, the 50 days before my 50th birthday. I decided to do a whole countdown to disseminate. Now, I was acting a lot back then. I was in Los Angeles. I was auditioning for every primetime TV show, and I thought I could either lay low and let the casting directors still think I'm 38, or I could lean into this and do a service, because I feel like in life you either live out of there's different levels of exchange and responsibility, and there's personal gain, which is is great. You eat for health, but then there's duty. And I felt like duty is far beyond personal gain, and I felt like it was my duty to be loud that I'm turning 50, and for others to know, not just me, because we live on a planet with others. Like if it was just me, then that meant I lived on a mountain, I'm a monk, or whatever, whoever lives by themselves and they don't interact with other humans. And as you know, like, other humans are very important to us. They can sway us in good ways and in bad ways. And as much as I could flow, it's a way of flowing love, and truth is love. And truth is me not saying, well, I don't talk about my age. Like, that to me isn't love. Love is, love is
I'm feeling burned right
honesty.
now.
Right. But it's so that just became my lane, of just that total honesty. Because I will say too, I always felt just a little dirty when I wasn't honest about my age. And I felt like every time I have a little bit of deception, I feel like I get another wrinkle. And so I felt like I got younger when I was honest about my age. So anyway, that's my sort of lane on it. And it's really sweet, because the teenagers and the 20 and the 30-year-olds really like come out, and the dudes, they don't get any less hard up.
that I
The castings haven't been any slower. So, I mean, yes, when I show up on the set and the other casts who don't know me, and they're like, wait, this said, a 50-year-old nun we were looking for. Who are you? You're 35, and it's fun to surprise someone in that way, as opposed to, yeah, I'm 40 and I look 40. I'd rather be like, I'm honestly 60, and it can be healthy and vibrant, and it's going to look different for everyone. That's the thing. Like, when people say you don't look 60, I'm like, don't say that, because I can only look like me. And this is what 60 looks like, right? And I want there to be a day where everyone looks their age, because you're you, regardless of what anyone does. I don't want to compare myself to anyone else but me. So there's my age thing.
I like it. So if you had to give some tips
Mm,
as to, I mean, a lot of people have not aged as well as you have.
right.
So if
Mhm.
you give tips to people on
It
they're in there, it's in your book?
It really is. This is why I broke down and like I've been sharing the tips and things that I do since an iPhone first got a camera in 2007 and when MySpace came out. I used to talk about free exercise, which was always take stairs. I don't care how
Yeah.
tired you are. I don't care how
We're
bad your knees are,
we do the same
right?
thing.
Right? It's
Mhm.
called free exercise,
Mhm.
Yep.
especially if you're broke, especially if you can't afford a personal trainer.
Yep.
Your personal trainer at that airport is those 2 flights of stairs. Don't let some piece of electricity hoist up your blubbery body when you can just, and that's how I
Yep.
feel when I'm letting it move me. I'm like, oh my gosh, Denise, come on, you're 30, you're 40, you can walk. And especially if I've got a carry-on or a
I was gonna say with your
backpack,
bags too, you're like,
it's even
yeah.
better. Exactly. It's better.
Yep.
And it's only what? It's how long do you suffer? 2 minutes of pain.
Yeah. You
That's it.
remember at the airport, Eva, I'm like, I gotta do my rounds. I gotta take my break.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like
Right?
this is my cardio before I go sit down
This
for a
is your
couple hours.
cardio before you sit down. And I
Uh-huh.
tell
Yeah.
people also when you're on a plane and they walk by with water, always say
Get
yes
the
to
water.
water.
Yep.
But why do people say no? They're like, oh, well, then I have to get up and pee. Good, you have to get up.
Mhm.
Well, then I have to bother the person next to me. Good, you're helping
Oh,
that
shit. Get
person
up.
to also stand up. How healthy is it to
That's
stand
right.
up?
No blood clots.
No blood clots. See, so I'm always thinking of that big picture, and I'm not thinking of 6-pack abs. Like, yes, how nice that like my stomach because of the way I've eaten has stayed that way. But really, it's my mom raised me in Los Angeles, a divorced mama, and didn't have money, and said, when you guys get sick, and we're like, I'm 10, my brother's 12. She goes, when you get sick, I can't stay home. She worked on the assembly line at General Motors,
Mhm.
and she said, and certainly for that first year, like she didn't have her health insurance or whatever. She goes, so when you guys eat crap food, that makes your and this is in the 70s and 80s, guys. This is before we
Yeah.
learned all this shit on TikTok, right? Now people have important information that was hard won from my mom, and I'm so
Mhm.
lucky that not only was she a New York Italian, so had that whole food passion, but she was a hippie in Los Angeles in the 70s.
Yeah, that is a Latin thing, isn't it? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
because we
Yeah.
all come from that
Oh,
background
yeah.
too, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like it's making the food. It's
Yep.
making from a whole food,
Yes.
and using all the
Fresh
spices.
Yes.
pasta
So
and oh,
yeah.
yeah.
There's I don't know what
There
this
you
is
go.
doing. It just fell down. I'm like, yeah, that's it.
It's a sign.
It's a sign.
I thought
Yeah.
you were gonna hold a piece of basil there at first. I'm
I
like,
know.
oh,
I
she's
was
got
like, what
So
is
look
this
at
leaf
that.
doing?
The little
But yeah, so eating like I didn't do a lot of Burger King and McDonald's
us
because
either.
basil.
it's number one, we couldn't always afford it. Although it is a cheaper food though these days, which is why a lot of people eat fast food because it's cheap, because you can scrape up some change and go to Taco Bell. But in my head, I was taught in the end, that's going to be more expensive. Your body's
Yeah.
going to get unhealthy
Gonna get
because of
sick.
it. You're
Yeah.
going to get sick. And
Yeah.
it's a kind of sick in different ways, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not always just an immediate cold, right? It's
Yeah, no,
it's
it's a
other,
disease.
yeah,
There's a
it's
reason why
other
they call it taco
sicknesses.
hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And so I had that education, and but I'm not a zealot with anything. I do have a Taco Bell on a road trip every few
Mhm.
months or something, but I talk about something in my book and I call it my body's bank account, and I make sure if I'm taking a withdrawal out, which is a taco, I make
Mhm.
sure to put a deposit in, which will
Mhm.
be grabbing a handful of spinach that night and just
Mhm.
eating it. I don't need to make a freaking salad. I don't have to dirty the bowl with dressing. What's the healthy food that my body has to have? Because that taco didn't give me any nutrients,
Mhm.
right? So I'll have a raw carrot. I'll eat a handful of cherry tomatoes. I'll have a hard boiled egg. I
Mhm.
did, guys, just buy a hard boiled egg maker. And I know some people laugh at that,
I
but
have one.
Thank you. Of course you do. I'm late to the party on that one, and I couldn't be
No,
happier.
I don't know. What are you serious? Is it that easy to use? I have never used
Yeah,
one.
you just pop them
is.
in the little thing and you turn it
Pop
on.
with it, and you turn on, and they give you a little measurement cup because
Yeah.
depending on how many
Just a
eggs, if
little bit of water.
you just a little bit, and you
What?
push the button and it's done. How many times have I tried to make hard-boiled eggs and I burn the pot and then the smoker alarm goes off because I'm now
Really?
blackening? Yeah. It's,
So,
you know,
but what about the different size eggs? Does it matter?
it doesn't matter.
No.
Really? Okay.
No, no.
There's something new tonight.
And that clean protein, bam, that's going to
Mhm.
like just heal so many things to put clean protein. So that's one of my things. If I had a piece of cake at a birthday party, I make sure to, if I've got kimchi at home, right? Something with good probiotics, some ginger, some garlic. I make sure to put the deposit, and it's easy. We all know what's healthy for us. We know that it's better to have pineapple, a nice fresh chunk of pineapple than a cookie. We know it's better to have some. I know.
They make kimchi supplements now too in a capsule. So if you
Of
hate
course
it,
they do.
you
I
can.
know.
Yep, it'll still burn your stomach a little bit, but it's
Denise, you got to hear what April made when we were on vacation last
Oh, I
week.
have to. I have to.
Oh,
So did
you
you? Where
gotta
did
tell
you
her about
guys
the
go?
pumpkin spice.
Did you
We
guys?
went
off
up to
the grid?
Western North Carolina. Yeah, it was mostly off. It was not exactly off the grid, but we opted for more off the grid than
Yes.
So what did I make?
Tell her what you made on the pumpkin stuff, the sugar-free.
Oh
my
yeah,
God, the shit
I
was
love
amazing.
pumpkin pie.
Oh, hello.
But I try to avoid sugar if I can avoid it. So, and I know that sugar-free stuff probably isn't much better, but still. I picked up a thing of Jello, vanilla, and they said to use cheesecake, but the sugar-free cheesecake, but I already had the vanilla. So I used vanilla pudding with whole milk and then a little bit of heavy cream. And I made the pudding, and then I dumped in an entire can of the organic pumpkin and a little bit of agave and a ton of the spice. And I whipped that up and put it into.
Go back to this pudding. What pudding? Because
It was
pudding,
an instant Jello pudding.
Jello pudding.
instant Jello pudding.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you use the vanilla instant Jello pudding, a can of pumpkin, a little agave, the spice, whole milk, cream, however you like it. And then you fill these little graham cracker crust cups up with it. And then when they're done, put some fresh whipped cream on it and sprinkle a little bit more of the pumpkin pie spice. It is really good.
Well, of course.
It was delicious. Yeah. Oh my God.
Of
Even though it was
course.
like sugar-free and healthy.
Well, but was the pudding sugar-free?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The whole thing had barely any sugar in it. So just a little bit from the agave and I guess the dairy too.
And then we didn't have graham cups for all of it at first. We had to go storing it more, obviously. She just put it in a cup, and we added.
I just put custard cups.
Graham cracker, a little bit on top.
Super
just
fun.
mixing it. It was delicious. I was like,
Super.
okay, yeah, but it was well worth.
'Tis the season for pumpkin spice. We just we have a pumpkin mask, and the first ingredient is a bunch of pumpkin, and there's clove and there's spices because cinnamon is so good. And but I love something I'll do, like if I gotta be a little on the clean side, I'll take an apple and I'll just saute the apple with a little cinnamon and a little monk fruit. Right, there's just something about it being warm that just as opposed to like biting it regular. Although if I cut an apple up, I like to eat it with cheese, little slices of cheese and apple. I feel very European.
Yeah, I like to saute it with the butter, the cinnamon, and the sweetener. So I love that.
Somebody just rewinded this on YouTube and to look at your abs. He said,
"Oh,
cool, awesome, dude." He may have met you actually at Screams, I think, once or twice.
So good to hear you. Good to see you.
look forward to spending time with you again at Tampa Bay Screams. That's always a fun time.
Yeah.
Right. When is the next? Are we doing a little thing on the 30th?
I don't know if it's little or not, but we're doing that back at the OCC Roadhouse.
The Roadhouse, yes.
Yep. So hopefully it won't be little, but you never know.
But I mean, it's just like a couple hours at night, right?
Yes.
It's just the night.
I think it starts at 6 o'clock until
whenever.
Whenever.
Look at her like it's not little.
It's not little, but
Come one, come all. We take
Yes,
Venmo.
exactly.
Come.
Exactly.
Enjoy. Come see everybody.
So I have questions for you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So
I,
you
I,
were,
ne- I never finished the road trip thing.
oh no, yeah,
sorry.
tell me. Sorry, go for it.
But no, but I love that you're interested in that, and that started from um me and my friend who works for a nonprofit, who wanted to just get out of town but not go to like a spa, not go to a super expensive hotel. Like, she doesn't have tons of cash, and she just wanted to go out to the desert, to Joshua Tree. And that's where I live. We live not too far from there. And so we went out with our tent, and just brought like a few things of food. We brought dried fruit, we brought canned
Smoked
oysters.
oysters.
Yes, oh my
You need
gosh. Crazy smoked oysters, hearts of palm, but just things that don't need refrigeration, jar of olive oil, and plenty of pistachios and walnuts. And that's kind of what we'll eat for 5 or 6 days. Now our trips are like 9 and 10 days, because we're heading out further into Utah and Arizona.
Love it.
Right. And but we like to go to places that goodbye war. I like to go to we like to go to places that is off the grid. And
Mhm.
you are so right that to get a little bit of a detox from all the blah 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 noise, which I love the noise. I mean, how much I lean right into social media because
Yeah.
I'm social and I have
Yeah.
a small family, and I love, like, all these people on their comments. They make me laugh. You make my day. You show me different ways of thinking. So I
Same.
really, right. We're not
Yeah.
like, but there is a beauty to connecting, with nature.
Yes.
And
Right.
it's getting harder and harder to do that. And so we go to these places, and we did Lake Powell, and went, you go out where you've got no more reception and maybe just the CB radio. And there's lots of storms, and this trip was the most harrowing. Our 52-foot houseboat, mind you, two women, a 60-year-old and a 61-year-old, renting a 52-foot houseboat. It's 18 tons,
Wow.
and we're the only ones. And to dock it, you have to find a piece of beach rock, push it up on it, like drive it up on it. Then someone has to jump out, and you have to dig two 3-foot deep holes by 2.5 feet wide to house the anchor, and throw it in the hole, and then bury it, and then go to the other side. You have to do it at 60-degree angles. If anyone's ever beached a houseboat, you know what I'm talking about. And it's
Wow.
yeah, you need muscles to do it. But then the boat starts to move because a storm hit in, and then when the boat starts to go, it digs into the sand, and then you're stuck, and then you have to and it's so scary, it's so nerve-wracking, and we're in the water. By the way, an iPhone can stay a good 3 or 4 minutes in your back pocket while you're submerged up to your chest.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes, I did not know that my iPhone, whatever I have, it's last year's model, was in my pocket while I was pushing the boat from the backside, and I was submerged up to my tatas. And my iPhone, not in any sort of actually, it was in this case. It was in this, just
A regular case.
bandolier case, with my driver's license and credit cards, which all
Wow.
Oh,
still
my.
work,
Yeah.
for about 4 or 5 minutes before I realized that it had it, and it was totally fine. So if ever your phone gets splashed,
Shit.
you're fine.
I don't think my
Um,
phone would survive.
I don't know. I think it's got witchy good karma.
There you go.
But at the end of surviving those things, when we get to sit at the back of the boat and watch the sunset, and we look at each other and we start cracking up, because like an hour ago or 10 minutes, we thought we were dying. We, at one point on one of our trips, we did the squeeze to the phone to call the emergency. When you have no reception on your phone and you double squeeze, that was what we had to do, because we were stuck in a rock bank, and
Oh,
the
wow.
the, the CB radio wasn't working. It was last year at Lake Mead, and the phone wasn't working, but you can do the squeeze, and immediately someone picks up, and they connect you to National Park Services, But just know that when you do that, whoever is on your emergency contact starts getting texts of your location. So my husband started
Ah,
getting texts, and my best
Oh,
friend, who's a stunt woman, and yeah, she was Pamela Anderson's stunt woman for years on VIP and Baywatch.
ah.
Um, and she and my husband apparently started calling each other. And my friend was literally about to send helicopter pilots from Vegas that she works with on the Mission Impossible series and all that, because she saw all the emergency texts she was getting. Me and my friend had no awareness of that. Because you don't, we're trying to dig the boat out. But if ever you're in emergency, just know when you long press, you will be able to get someone.
I had no idea.
is that
For,
just an iPhone thing? I
Yeah.
wonder.
yeah. Well,
Okay,
you know what? I would imagine
I think it
every
might be.
phone, I would imagine every phone you can do some kind of emergency.
I have to look that up. That's
Yeah.
something.
Have you ever
Something.
seen when someone, like when you're trying to put your iPhone in a phone holder, right? You know,
Mhm.
you're trying to like squeeze it into something, and you double squeeze it, and it gives you this emergency, and you're like, no, 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 it's not an emergency. I just squeezed my phone too hard. Well,
I'm an
we
Android
Yeah,
person, so I
I
haven't
have a
run into that.
Samsung, so I've never
Um,
oh,
experienced
okay,
that.
no,
But
it's
yeah,
but yeah, I'm
anyways.
going to look that up because obviously there must be something. If they have that, then I'm sure Android has something.
Yes. Oh,
So
hello,
hi,
cool. Hello,
Jerome.
Jerome. But yeah,
awesome.
getting off, and we call it, we document it, and it's tips from road trip chicks. And we take all the photos ourselves, even if somebody happens to be around. They're like, can we take your picture? We're like, nope, we got it. We got it. We got a tripod and a remote control. It's a very self-sufficient situation.
It's rules.
Wow,
You have
that
rules.
yeah,
I
that
love
sounds
it.
amazing. I would love
Yeah,
to
I
do
love
that.
watching your stuff.
Oh yeah,
Not
you
just
would.
not the houseboat freak out thing, but the rest of
No.
it, I would.
But you would be awesome. You would come to the rescue. You would be strong. You would be holding the rope while we're pushing, and then we'd all enjoy some good sausages, a glass of wine, whatever you want. We'd be
Yes.
laughing. No,
And then going, but we didn't die.
that's
But
it.
did
We
you
didn't die.
die?
But did you die?
That's always the end of the story, is we didn't die. And I feel like
Oh
there's
yeah.
something fun about life of when you almost die. Sounds like all my female friends.
Oh yeah,
That's
we
funny.
said that on Sunday. Yep.
Right, stunt women are fantastic.
It
Awesome.
Mhm.
reminds me of somebody saying, it's going to be all right. If it's not all right now, it's not the end. So, because it always is all right at the end.
Yes.
It
I
always
got
works
that.
out at the end.
It does. It does.
Oh
But
my
it's not
goodness.
the end. I like that. That's a mind bender. I like that.
Yeah, it all works out in the end. Another mind bender. This one cracks me up. God, I really hate this chair. All I want to do is get up. a lot of people just love to do that. God, I really hate this chair. All I want to do is get up.
Oh my goodness.
So
That's great.
okay, so I have what if you hang on, I have a couple questions for you. You always have such great answers.
No, I don't know about that.
What advice
Yeah.
would you have for your younger self?
Oh,
Oh,
God, it's funny, I feel like I've gotten asked that question many times, right? And I don't think I've ever answered the same way, because it seems like every 4 or 5 years something else you learn something else about how you thought, um and I certainly don't take um older people for granted. I feel like I would have uh, been more interested um, in talking to more older people. Isn't that a funny
Yes.
thing to say?
No, I think about that all the time.
Yeah.
I wish I
Like
had talked to more people, like my grandparents and just older people in general. They have
Yeah.
wisdom.
Yes.
It's so true. Just whatever, even visiting an old age home and letting them tell stories. Um, it, it's it's some of the we learn history from history books, but what about what's going on like within our generation, right? Like I
Yeah.
don't need to know as much about then, but because I love that. Okay, I just turned 60. Look, I'm already setting myself up to be 80. Which is funny to me. But I love when, in my skincare company, I get a lot of young girls that like to come and intern, right? And they're teenagers and they're 14 and they're 16 and 19. And I love the questions they ask me. And I don't think I ever really like asked business women who were, when I was a teenager,
Hmm.
right? Like that I was really interested in their lives. I mean, yes, my grandmother, my great grandmother, they were everything to me. But I don't really have a lot of mature older women role models. But I also think I didn't put the interest in that. And
To also be fair, there weren't a lot of businesswomen and entrepreneurs when we were
Right.
growing up.
that's
We
very
grew up
They
in
true.
the
were
era of the wife and
housewives.
mother.
Yes.
Right. So our generation
Mhm.
was some of the first where women were breaking molds and kicking down doors and doing something different.
Mhm.
It's
I mean,
really
like our
true.
generation
Extending
was
their
the first
college
one.
education.
Yeah, our generation was the
Mhm.
first one to do it all, where we could cook, clean, have kids, run a business, and
Yeah.
get married.
Work full
So
time.
there's
Mhm.
not ever been another generation, there probably never will be, where the group of women can do it all.
Yeah.
So
Right, Winona, right?
I'm going to throw something out there real quick that
Throw
just
it.
little tidbit, Denise.
we don't know. You beat
Uh,
me to that. I was going to say that
Yeah,
the
yeah,
facts
most
aren't as
definitely.
important in history as much as the inner workings and how we got there. And a
Yeah.
lot of times, I don't know if the history is correct. I doubt history more and more now because it's
No,
who's writing it.
It's so true. It's so
So
true.
talking to
A-
people is more valuable, I think.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
My
telephone game.
Yeah.
Exactly. My sister is a nurse, and for a while she was working doing in home things where she was taking care of some elderly, and she had a couple, let's say, clients that were elder, and whether retirement home or whatnot, and she would purposely ask them, "What would you like to do? Do you want to go somewhere?" And she would put them in her mom van, and take them wherever they wanted to go. And a couple of them would actually say, "I want to go downtown. I haven't been downtown in a while." Okay.
Mm.
Well, downtown to them meant, let's say, going through the historical area. She would let them talk, and they would start doing. I remember when I was a kid over there at this cemetery, or I did this, or my so and so's married over here. I remember when there was a parade here or a concert when this was different in these buildings, and she just listened. And
Yeah.
the
Mm.
stories and the family telling, and what you didn't hear, like Winona said, in any history books in that area. And being a history buff that she is, and being on historical councils, she learned more from those people that were a generation older. Now, mind you, she is 62,
Hmm.
and she has been every client she could possibly do. Where do you want to go? And that was her thing. Where do you want to go? And just
Hmm.
they would be stunned, like, why nurses don't ask that? Where do you want to go? I'll pay for
They
that.
humanize the history.
Yes, and just let them
Yeah.
talk, and they would go on. And she's learned so much over time, and you don't even really have to take them anywhere. Before you know it, they're talking about their family and stories and history and overseas, how they all came here, and you don't find that anywhere. That those are things that are precious, and then you hope that other people want to hear about. And I've told her she should write books on that stuff, because the amount of history that she learned just from the general area outside of Philadelphia, and things that I never knew just from being there, that had no idea that all these small little characters and these small pieces, it wasn't and how they were built, and these little nooks and crannies of cemeteries in the middle of properties
Oh my God.
that's
Yeah.
still there, that you wouldn't have known unless that person said, well, there's family buried there and they can't build there, so they buried, or they built around it. And there's these little squares in the middle of these properties that have 6 graves from the original family that plotted there 200 years ago, or 150 years ago, excuse me. And wow, okay, well, who would ever
Yeah.
have thought that,
Who would
driving
have
down the
known that?
street, that there's a little cemetery in between 4 homes over here? So things like that you would learn.
It's
It's
lovely.
fascinating.
Good
Yeah,
for her.
fascinating.
Oh, you reminded me of another thing that I thought of is that uh Sarah Blakely, who did Spanx, right? She's so super awesome. And she said her father, at the dinner table, I wish my mother had done this, would ask them, what did you fail at today?
Mm.
And
Oh,
really wanted them to lean into being, because if you failed at something, it meant that you tried something. And one of the things I would tell my younger self is like, really lean into failing more, and don't be afraid of that is, you have to have a good 10 or 20 failures before you succeed. And when you make failing like almost some as a prize,
Mhm.
that's going to get you closer to the success. And I did have an actor one time when I was waitressing. He was kind of, he's sort of a famous dude, and I forget his name, but I do remember he said to me, just remember, it's like Vegas. You have to keep rolling the dice. You're never going to win unless you keep throwing the
Numbers.
dice, and that helped. And then, another actor said, like, on the 35th audition, I'll book something. And I'm like, 35th, right? And
Yeah.
then you get the second job and you're like, see, I'm better than that. But then 39 go by, but it's like, all right, so it could be that. So, but that concept of like, just, you really have, like, we hear of these overnight successes,
Yeah,
and
that doesn't make sense.
right, and I think now, again, with social media and all of that, we hear people's stories, right? Like you and I, we didn't grow up with podcasts. We didn't grow up, like, we had like Cosmopolitan magazine.
Yes.
We had Barbara Walters, a 60-minute interview. We didn't get to hear these life stories. We just got to see, oh, there's a cosmetic line called Mary Kay. We don't fucking know what Mary Kay's story was.
Don't
We
forget
just
the
know,
pink
oh,
car. Yeah.
Right. There's no
right,
reviews
the pink
either.
car. Right.
You could
And
get a pink car.
you
Yeah.
get a pink car, but we don't know maybe how many no's she got until she,
Yeah.
made the yes. And so I
Unless it
think
was on Entertainment Tonight, sometimes they would cover things.
that's right.
Mhm.
That's right. Do you know I had a manager named Jay Bernstein. He's the one that brought me to William Morris, and then that's where I auditioned. They got me the audition for the whole Subspecies Full Moon Entertainment thing. But that manager represented Mary Hart, who was one of the first co-host anchor women of Entertainment Tonight. And he was very brilliant with marketing ideas. And this was in like the 90s, or late 80s, maybe even. And he got her legs insured for $1 million. Right. Remember, she'd stand on that little bench, or
Yes.
sit on the
Yep.
the stool, and those beautiful legs. She had them insured for $1 million. And so, of course, what's going to happen? All the attention's going to go on those great legs. The
Right.
paparazzi are going to want to get pictures of it. But what he didn't say until years later, when I was with him, he said, I only took out the insurance policy for 1 day.
Oh
Isn't that-
my
Oh.
God. That's so interesting.
So maybe it cost him
Wow.
$500, right?
Right.
And then you get, I just like, and then it was either it was Tom Jones. He represented Tom Jones in the early 80s or late 70s or something. He was an older dude. And so he gave women hotel room keys and underwear and told them to throw them on stage. And then it became a thing where women would do that,
Right.
And then another thing,
That's
there was
making him the stud.
the stud, chicka
Right.
bow wow.
The men
And
want to
then
be him. The women want to be with
want to
him.
do him, or okay,
Right.
there you go, be with him. I like that. There was he represented the actress who was on a TV show called Northern Exposure.
Mhm.
Oh, I love that show.
Right. And I had done an episode of that. And when I booked that episode, he told me a story, and then he showed me the video clip of the girl, Janine Turner. That was her name, Janine Turner.
Yeah,
who
she was
on
a
that show.
dark-haired girl that looked
Dark
like
hair.
part, I guess, native, right?
Yeah, actually,
I
I
remember.
think
I watched that show.
so cute.
She was.
My scenes were with John Corbett, and we were in his little motorhome thing.
Mhm.
And anyway, but so Jay Bernstein told her, because she was getting all of this press now, and she was doing an interview, and he schooled her in something. He said, if somebody asks you what your least favorite feature is, like if they say, what's your favorite feature, and then what's your least favorite, he said, don't ever pick a feature about yourself that someone could actually find fault with,
Mhm.
like a physical feature. And I thought that was interesting, because it was like, I have very wrinkly hands. I just do. Like, you can't not see that. And he's like, don't say that. He goes, say something like, my big brown eyes, they're like so big, I wish they were blue. And people would be like, what are you talking about? Your eyes are beautiful. Right.
Art.
You know, or like Angelina Jolie, like, God, I always felt my lips were too big. What are you talking? You know, it was just an
Ah,
interesting way of, you know, Brooke Shields could say, oh, my eyebrows are
my
so
eyebrows,
bushy, you
right,
know,
right, yeah.
like,
Mhm.
oh, my
Oh, my
jaw.
tight ass, you know, it's so perky. It's just way on up there. It's
You
just
know,
a little too high.
too high, you know, but don't say my frucked up teeth, you know,
Okay.
or like, you know, my whatever, right? Like, and it was just an interesting, you know, good PR. Just give yourself
That's
good PR.
brilliant. I wish, I
Yeah,
wish,
It is.
I wish you were, yeah, I would love to take a class from somebody like that, you
right,
know, and just
right.
learn that amazing way of thinking and speaking and seeing, you know, I love that stuff. I mean,
Well,
it's
I
it's
think
just a different level
you're
of brilliance.
yes, yes, and you innately have a lot of great, you know, I've seen the news stations come by our table and you know just how to just give them what they want. Like I watched you do that interview and it was so beautiful. The way you were so gracious about the fans, you were so gracious about the world of horror and what it brings to people. It was very lovely.
Thank you. As
Yes.
arts, as do you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was looking for that picture where you guys did the vampire biting.
Yes.
And
Oh,
I couldn't find it. I was
That
looking
guy
for it.
gives it to me. He prints out a 4x6 of it, I think,
yes.
every time we go. It's very
Ah,
sweet.
that's funny.
Uh,
Yeah, he
now
loves taking pictures. That's
Andy
for
sent it
sure.
today. There it is, right there.
There
Hey,
we
no
are.
kidding.
Oh,
There it
Andy.
is. That's a great
That
picture.
is a great picture.
Yeah.
Um, okay. So where's your heart now? Like all the things you've done,
Oh,
I mean, all the you've done all these movies, you've just written a book, you're obviously very into healthy eating, you have the skincare company, you
yeah.
have you've been married for a long time, you have a
Been
beautiful
married a long
daughter,
time. Thank
you
you.
have, you
Yes.
know, I wish we had a lot more time. I could pick your brain forever. And you still maintain an active social life. I know I'm missing things here. You're a photographer, you're a director, all the things you've done, all the wisdom you've acquired. Where's your heart now?
God, I would love to do a one woman show on off Broadway.
Mm,
You know, for my 60th birthday and for my 50th, I did do like a one woman show. Of course, it was just for my 120 friends. Um, but it was, I love storytelling that inspires people to live a multifaceted life, you know, and I for my 60th birthday, for my 59th, I actually did a birthday for my 59th. I did a party and it was, you know, it was everyone, it was we had 103 seats and we turned my where this is my skincare studio here and we have our warehouse. Anyway, I converted it to a stage and for my 59th birthday and I did basically a story from moving from New York as a baby to Los Angeles, my acting career, um photography, the different celebrities I've shot, and then my mother and getting cancer, moving back to New York, then eventually settling here in Florida and my skincare company and look at that dog's punum.
I know, right?
Um, I
As he
can't
woke up, he
even.
never wakes up. He just his whole
Oh,
entire life is
Max.
sleeping.
And so but I did the 59th because I just was like, you know what? No woman ever celebrates her 59th birthday, right? And I called it my final 50. And so, but for my 60th, because I didn't die, I thought, you know, I thought I have to do something big for 59. Number one, it's kind of the last of the 50. And I'm like, what if I don't make it to 60? You know, I mean, I hate to say that, but like at this age, I have friends that have passed and it's horrible.
I know.
Right? Right? So I was alive 3 months before my 60th birthday, and I'm like, I gotta write another show.
You're still alive, right?
I am. Oh my God. It's
Well, you're a
my
vampire. I'm
heart's
just
pumping.
asking.
There you
I
go.
know. And so I said to myself, I'm like, I feel like I shot my wad for 59. I've told all the stories. And I said, but you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to pick like 6 or 7 different stories, and I'd like to flesh those out, right? And that's what I did. And instead of talking about my whole vampire world, I picked one story of when I went back 2 years ago to do the 5th installment, and what that was like after 28 years, when I first went there as a 28-year-old, and now I'm going back as a 58-year-old, right? It was almost 30 years later. And how I was this scared, nervous, insecure actress, and how I was trying to be liked by the leading man, who was this always drunk Danish actor who was on General Hospital and was so charismatic. I mean, I was married, but you still want the attention of a
right.
leading man, you know? And the girl who played my sister was Melanie Shatner, and that's William Shatner's daughter. So she had this celebrity by proxy, and you know, and of course he was extra nice to her, and she was single, and the director, and but all of this world in my head. And then 30 years later, I'm back there with the same director and with that same actor, and he no longer drinks. And in the morning, you know, he used to make fun of my vitamins and healthiness 30 years ago. And now, you know, he's 10 years older than me. And he stopped smoking and drinking, and we would go to the fruit and vegetable markets, and I'd help him pick out fruit that was healthy.
Wow.
And we just and he loves and admires me, and always had, but I never could see it, you know?
Yeah.
And so anyway, I just told this sweet story of you know, like how we change as an artist, and I was no longer afraid, and he was no longer having to, you know, assert and be his own, question his manhood, you know. And we were just these two artists, and we were friends, and we got to enjoy being in Serbia and plucking out of our workaday world for 2 weeks, enjoying that. And the points that I make in it are relevant to anybody in life, right? And I told the story of how I became a certified nurse assistant 20 years ago, because I do a lot of volunteer first responder work. I went to Haiti and I went to Katrina, and but I wanted to get a little bit more of a nursing degree, and what that experience was like for 6 months, and how I had a bit of a prejudice against some of these traumatic brain injured patients, because I was told that this girl's super funny and this guy, he's a real flirt. And then when I meet them, they're both just vegetables. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And cut to 2 weeks later, I'm getting their subtle sense of humor, and I'm getting how Shlomo, who is like totally just like a practically a vegetable, but when I would change his diaper, and he's like 50 years old, he managed to get his hand to pat my butt as I leaned over the bed, you know, and he'd have this little smile, you know. And the girl, you know, who was like supposed to be the funny one, when I had to feed her, and she kept saying, Dee, 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 and I didn't know what she was saying. And this was after the second week, Dee, Dee. And then I looked, and her name was Debbie. And when I looked at her door, her last name um, was Donahue. And she saw my name tag, Denise Duff, and she's
Oh, both
Debbie
were
Donahue.
DD. Yeah.
Dee,
Oh,
Dee, Dee, Dee. And
Yeah.
that was like her beautiful way of like, we match, we
Right.
match,
aw,
you know? And
cool.
so anyway, and then I tell the story of how my mom passed away, and how we were very regimented about it. We talked about what her next lifetime would be, what she wanted to look like, where she wanted to go, right? She was home for 9 days. Like, it was the most causative send off, you know? Um, so I'll tell you, these stories that I have, I would love to take those on the road, to be honest.
That
Well,
would be
you already,
amazing.
yeah, you wrote a
And
book. Why not write that play?
do it. Do
I
it.
know, I know. And also my skincare company, it's you know, we have this advantage in the entertainment industry to know how to make ourselves look cute pretty quickly, right?
Mhm.
Like, You know, it's what we understand. We know hair dye, skincare, makeup, cute clothes, and we can do without it if we need to, right? But it's not like a common knowledge thing, you know, for women over 40 in the world who were not raised in an industry where you worked with professional makeup artists, right?
Mhm.
Or you worked in a fitness world, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, as a wrestler, like you got to know your body. You got to keep it like clean. You know, whether we're like super good or not, we know what to do. And so this has given me, you know, my skincare world has opened these doors to so many women who now I have all of their personal phone numbers. I text these women. There are women who I will never meet in person, but they make me cry. They have my back. We send each other things. We check on each other's kids. I know when they're going to doctor's appointments. And, you know, I don't have any siblings. I had one brother, and unfortunately he passed away from a drug overdose when he was 40 years old. And I was 38. And so I haven't had any siblings. And so all of these women are such my sisters, you know? And I feel that with you two ladies. I mean, come on, every year when we meet up, every year.
Yes.
Well, I feel like you subscribe to the whole "we are one" principle as
Yes.
well.
Yeah, no doubt.
Whereas,
Yeah, I
I
mean, you
mean, a
know,
lot of
I'm
people
not.
don't. I don't.
No, look, and I heard you you know, I have never been a very political person. I am a registered libertarian. Like I've been since I'm 18. That's what my mom was, and that's what I am. And but I've always felt whoever has been in office has never prevented me from being a photographer, an actress, a storyteller, an artist, no matter who has been in office. And also America is a pretty darn great country. I mean, yes,
Yeah, it is.
who
It
doesn't love
is.
Italy, right? We love Italy, we love Europe, but in the big scheme of things, the life that I've lived, I couldn't live in another country,
Yep.
No,
you know? And so
a lot of people
n-
don't realize that because they don't travel.
yeah,
They've never
that's
really traveled. We've had the opportunity to go to these other countries and
yeah,
spend extended periods of time there,
yeah,
use their healthcare, meet the people, eat the food there, learn that the local stuff, and ask questions, and then we
yeah.
realize you come home, you realize, oh, America's pretty friendly. We do have some choices. This is a
We
nice
do
place.
have
We've
choices,
got a lot of
we
choice.
have a
Yeah.
lot of choices, and as much as people will think like, and I'm like, really? But like, you can't go to your CPA job, you can't get customers,
Yeah. This is a great country.
It
it's
is.
We
such a
just
great
we just
country.
we just we're like Rome right now. They're trying to implode us from within. And
I know.
I wish people
We're
would
trying
understand
real
it. We always
hard.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
trying very hard. And I think there's a global interest in doing it. It's not I mean it's entities from all over trying to do it.
Yeah.
And I think for us, we always say we're the moderate voice of reason. We started
Mhm.
this I started this originally with another podcaster because I just felt like the moderates out there were being drowned out. It was just
Yeah.
extreme on the left and extreme on the right. And people who were moderates who were not contributing to a divide and conquer agenda were just getting drowned out.
Wow.
They didn't want to hear that. And I just felt like there were people out there that wanted to unite. And
God,
we
I
see the
love that
craziness across the board on either side, and we see the good on either side too. And
completely.
and yeah, this is still a great country that you have opportunities here that you would not have anywhere else.
And
So
I know I
1,000%.
haven't traveled like you wonderful ladies, but just from knowing you guys and people like you and in stories, honestly, I don't have any drive to go travel outside of the country.
That's the greatest quote ever.
yeah,
I love it.
Oh my
I
gosh,
would,
I've
yeah,
never
I would
heard
say it's
that.
two sides of the same coin. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
No, but I like left and right. We're still part of the same turkey. I
it
love
is.
that.
Oh, go Jamie.
It really is.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yes, you
awesome.
have met Jamie many times to his
Yeah,
screams.
he comes to the
He'll be
screens.
there
Oh,
again.
okay.
Yes,
Hi, Jamie.
he lives local. Yes, go Jamie.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
no.
your people
Jamie.
are in here. We tend to draw the
Yes.
moderates. Yeah,
Oh,
they might lean one way or the other, but for the most part, they're somewhere
yes,
somewhere in
in a
the That's the libertarians, the NPAs, the moderates.
That's
Yeah. So
right.
the people who just want to be left alone.
I know. I say, for left, for right, bitch. I'm fourth. I'm farting.
All right,
Far
Alex.
There you go.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that wins.
This is good.
Hey,
This is good
Denise,
for
I have a
this.
question.
Yes.
Your skincare company, where'd that come from? Did you just try
Yeah,
products?
where can we find more of it?
Yes.
Too?
Well, it's in your face skincare,
Okay.
and it's online. And we have our TikTok shop, and we're on Amazon, but when you order it, it comes from right here. We don't
Okay.
send the stuff to Amazon warehouses because the warehouses are very too hot. Thank you. You understand?
Yeah,
And
I have candles and soap, so the warehouse would destroy it.
would destroy it. And it's a good one. And it started when I moved. We sold our house in Studio City in Los Angeles, and my husband and I, after our daughter moved out, we decided to move to Manhattan. It was just something we'd always wanted to live in Manhattan, even though I was born in New York as a kid. My family, we moved to Los Angeles when I was 5. I did attend university in New York, and I always thought one day I'm going to be back here and I'm going to live in one of these high rises. And then went back to Los Angeles and met my husband at 21 years old and stayed there. And we bought a house, we had a kid, I had a career. And then at 50, when my daughter moved out, we decided to just sell our house and change things up. And it was like our friends were like, what are you doing? Like, who leaves LA? Like, my husband was a musician and a web designer, and I was an actress and a photographer. I didn't do theater. So what am I moving to Manhattan for? But we just really wanted to change things up. Like, you don't move to Manhattan when you're 80, like you got to still be able to walk.
You got to be able to move. You got to hit those steps.
Hit the steps, run after a cab.
Like Paris.
That's right. That's
There's
right.
a lot of steps in Paris.
A lot of steps. Oh my God.
A lot of stairs.
And unless you've got, like, you're a billionaire and you've got someone to do all the stuff for you. But so it was just like we found this little window of time. And so we moved there. And after about a year, I was like, oh, I need to supplement my income because I wasn't doing as much acting work there. I was still doing photography. I'd gotten another little part on Days of Our Lives that I flew back for. But I had a bunch of friends that were selling things on Amazon. And now 3 years prior to that, on one of my road trips, actually, I met a natural botanical chemist, and I worked with her and created like this cream. And it was just something for me because my skin was so dry. I was given Accutane when I was 27 and didn't know what it was, couldn't Google it back then. And but didn't know until I was like in my late 30s why I didn't have this oily Italian skin anymore. And someone actually said to me, well, didn't you do Accutane? And I was like, oh my, I didn't even put it together. And so I needed some.
That's one of those drugs that got recalled.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't, it was pre-Google.
Right.
And every tablet you take had a pregnant woman on it with a little X through it. In other words, don't get pregnant while you're on it. In fact, I was on it when I did the vampire series, and you have to get a blood test. So I had to get blood tests when I was out in Romania, and that was a whole thing because it was very backwards. It was like the MASH unit. Like, that's what their hospitals looked like a tent. But apparently I had the lowest triglycerides of any person the hospital had ever seen. Because I guess they drink a lot of booze and eat a lot of fat, and I was kind of a vegetarian back then. But you have to send blood work every month to get your next prescription of the Accutane. That's how severe it is.
Gosh.
So now I'm in my 40s and I'm wanting healthy hydration. I know enough about skincare. I studied chemistry at UCLA in college. I studied Latin, and those two things, having studied chemistry and having studied Latin, I was able to understand. In fact, I show this when I do my TikToks. I show women what is in 90% of skincare, which is silicone. And this is rubber cement, right? It's silicone, and it has a beautiful texture that everybody loves.
It looks like my boobies.
Right, little silicone. It's got a great bounce.
The gummy bear movies.
A gummy bear, beautiful bounce. I mean, silicone's good for so many things, but it just doesn't have any it doesn't have any nutrition, right? And so I know from like the word dimethicone. I'm like, oh, dimethicone, silicone. The cone is a type of plastic. Acrylates, acrylic paint, and acrylic, plastic things of acrylic, and there are acrylates in skincare. So anyway, I really got to decipher what's in, and I was very much a label reader because my mother, where I talk about, didn't want us to, we couldn't buy anything that had sugar. He had me at boobies.
My favorite's urea. You start reading the labels, you're like, what is urea? Oh.
Yes. That's funny. I have a friend who was a foot doctor, and he would tell patients to pee on their feet because the uric acid in your urine actually gets rid of it's an antimicrobial for like athlete's foot.
Told you, Eva.
I know. Recent conversation.
I'm like, you would not believe how good pee is for a lot of things.
Right? Are you kidding me? Wow. Yep. That is what a coincidence. So I've got this cream. I'm using it for several years. I'm giving it as gifts. Women are loving it. And when I'm in New York, and this friend of mine said, well, then you've got to bottle up that cream. And I'm like, well, we make it in such small batches. I don't know how to do a company. She's like, I'll help you. And she's like, you got to think of a name. So I was coming up with different names like, Mediterranean something or Sicilian something anyway, I met with this branding guy on one of my trips back to LA because I'd go every month and do photo shoots. And I tell him this, and he says, I go, yeah, I'm thinking like Sicilian blah blah. And he's like, Denise, those names are so old fashioned. You're such an in your face kind of girl. And I said, oh, what am I going to call it? In your face cream? And he's like, yes, you are. And he takes his computer and he types out, and he just like types the letters in all caps, actually. Lean like that. And since I was in LA and my husband was in New York, I called him up right then and I said, honey, is inyourfacecream.com available? And he paused and he said, nope, I just bought it for $19. And like, that's how the name came to be.
And you have the little initials, the IYFC.
IYFC, right?
Yeah,
in your face skincare. Yeah. And so we bought some, my friend showed me where I could get jars, and I wanted I wanted a thick cap. I wanted a clear jar so you could see all the lusciousness. And then I just made a post on Facebook, and because I'm a photographer, I took pretty pictures of it. And I said, I did a little thing, and I launched it. And in 1 week, we sold out of the 300 jars just on my Facebook friends. And then it kind of kept going. And then it was like, oh, we're going to take out some advertising on Facebook. And it was like $100 a day. I'm like, oh, we're spending $100 a day. And now we spend like $1,500 a day we spend on ads.
I've heard that can be really worthwhile though.
Yeah, it's like you've got to buy eyeballs, and it's just you've got to buy eyeballs, period. And the only way you grow, and you can't just do a little bit and expect something to happen. You've got to throw that net out wide. And then just make sure you've got a good product and have amazing customer service. Do whatever it takes. Stay out there on social media. Always be seen, because even though your things aren't getting 1 million likes and comments, people are seeing it. And they may not be saying anything, but they're seeing it in the scroll, So
you look amazing. You look amazing. And
I want to try your stuff.
Yes, I can't. I owe you guys some shit. That's for sure.
No, you don't know us anything.
No, I do. I would love to try it. I
would love to try it for sure, but you don't owe us anything. So you're beautiful. You're an amazing human being. And there was something, if you didn't know, because you were talking about the name and how the name came about.
Yeah.
Most of April's products have interesting names of her candles and soaps.
Hey, I did the same thing.
Here's one. Wake the fuck up.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, I do.
Right? I mean, look at that, naturally skinny my ass. I mean, you and I vibrate on the same plane.
Yes.
The
Yeah,
same
You
yes,
know,
way.
it sucks because AI is like punishing me now, or has been punishing me for any kind of swears or anything that they don't like. I got in trouble
Oh.
the other day for skills because apparently the kills is in there, and then all of a sudden, every time I got on Facebook, it was asking me if I was okay or if I needed to talk to
Oh
somebody.
yeah.
And
Oh my
now,
God.
my Facebook profile is not okay. I'm not allowed to change page names or something. I'd be like, what is
Wow.
happening here?
Fuck.
The AI, yeah, the AI
Yes, for
out
the
of
first
hand now.
time, I was searching something, and it had a little bit of a SUICIDAL kind of twist to it, and it didn't give me an answer. It gave me a hotline. I'm like, no, 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 this isn't about me. I was just
Yeah.
I wanted to ask a question about a rope, like a hanging rope or something.
Yeah.
Totally
Try
disrelated.
being a writer and writing about a lot of stuff, because that's I went back to school. That's my degree was in writing, so I write a
Wow.
lot of dark stuff. So you're searching for things. I search for some of the darkest stuff you could possibly imagine.
Dude, yeah.
So you can't say that anymore. You have to say
No.
unalive.
You got the pixel following you around, girlfriend.
Yeah, I'm already on the list.
Oh man, she's
I'm on the watch
every
list. I'm
out
on
there
the
right now.
whole thing. Yeah. I actually found out I was on the watch list. I'm like, well, I guess after what we went through the last couple of years, if you're not on the watch list, you just didn't do a good enough job.
You didn't do a good
There you
enough
go.
job. I know, I'm kind of insulted. When I do little seminars for actors, right? And just little free things where I'll give them, tips and stuff. And I say, look, you need to get haters, because you're not spreading your net wide enough if you don't
Yeah.
have anybody saying something bad about you. And I remembered with my skincare company that the first time someone said, oh no, she's not 57, she's had a facelift, look at that face,
Yep.
and I remembered going, oh my God, yay, I'm starting to get the cunts,
Yeah.
like that's like because for the first year it was all like friends, family, friends of friends,
Right.
friends of friends, and when the net was wide,
Yeah.
then and so
Yeah. In wrestling, they say the more over you are out there, the less over you are behind the curtain. So yeah, I'm not even the C word. That's my favorite word. I'm not even
Oh my
allowed
God.
to say it anymore.
I know you can't. I just sort of slipped it.
That is my favorite word.
I slipped it fast.
No,
I'm sorry.
I don't care. I love
slipped
it. I
fast.
love it. I love
Okay.
it.
Who cares? Say what the hell you
Especially
want.
in having lived in England for a while, they use that word.
They
as
use
like
it all the time, and
all
I
the
love
time.
it. It's
like,
funny.
oh mate, he's a good cunt, isn't he?
That's
So,
right. It's a loving word, you motherfucker.
Like I love how people are trying to use hate speech. They're trying to
You
use
know
hate
what?
speech.
Screw
It's like,
that.
fuck you. There's no hate speech. It doesn't exist.
There.
There's just speech and hateful users.
I
And so
know.
there is a question out there for you two ladies.
All right, we're
And
ready.
Ibs in. What's
is
up,
requested.
Ibs? God, what?
Mhm. He's requesting you guys to do a Pex Flex off.
Oh
So
gosh, of
Denise
course
may
she's
not
going to
know
win.
what that is.
What, is it just holding your arm?
No, it's pecs.
Oh, I can't do that.
I'll bet you can.
I can move them with my hand. I can't.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I'm the same way.
I can just I don't know. Oh, I could just do that. There, I could
There
do
you
that.
go. There you go. Yeah, do it
There
all.
you go.
Although now I think I've got a what is it called? A Charlie horse.
Cramp.
A cramp.
We'll have to do
Either way,
instead.
we need to do a great freeze frame.
There you
Someone
go.
take a screenshot.
Wait. And I'm also gonna done. Got it. You ladies look awesome. All right.
I love it with our spectacles.
Yeah. Hey, it looks great. You guys are awesome. And you know what? Well, maybe at Screams you two can get together and we'll do an actual photo for that.
So yeah, we have taken up a lot of your time too. So where can people find you, and where will you be appearing?
Okay. And anything Denice Duff with a C. Denice Duff for Facebook, for Instagram.
Yeah, with a C for no, just kidding.
Because I'm nice, and yes, because I'm a fabulous C word.
Your name is actually Denice.
It is. That's how my mom did it.
The hell
I love it.
Denice.
And the interesting thing is, when she wrote that on the birth certificate, someone told her it was wrong, and so she would spell it with an S. And when I was 11 years old, I had to see my birth certificate. I got to see it for something, and it said Denice. I'm like, wait, Mom, it says with a C. She goes, I know, I spelt it wrong though. And I'm like, no, but I like it. It says nice in there, Mom. It
Mhm.
says the word nice. And so from the time I was 11 years old on is when I went back to my original
I like that.
spelling from my birth certificate.
Yeah, I like it.
Um,
So is
so
there a Balake out there or an
I
AA
know
Ron?
there is a Ron. Say it right. Say it right. Um,
Right. Be nice.
and all right, so I will be doing Charlie Band's Church of Chills October 11th. And that'll be super fun. I'm going to be on a panel. It's just me and some of the castmates, and then they've added Megan from the young actress from the doll movie Megan.
Oh, okay. Where's that? Is that online or offline?
Ohio. It's
Okay.
it's in Ohio. It's like a in-person thing.
Okay.
And but it would be nice if he,
Online too.
streamed it, right?
Yeah.
Like knowing him, like he'll figure he's always monetizing stuff. And then that following weekend is the Scare Fest. And that's what, Kentucky, but
Is
it's
that
close to
Lexington,
Ohio.
Kentucky?
Lexington, yeah.
I've worked that one before. That is a
Yeah.
fun show.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
I love the Kentucky shows. I get a good crowd. Winona's from there, but I don't think you're that close to Lexington, right? So one of our original viewers is from there.
Mhm.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's that. That's fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna one of my friends actually owns the Halloween. Well, it's called Tree Hoppers, and it's Tree Hoppers, and it's one of those swinging places here like outside of Tampa,
Mhm.
and it's a huge area. And then they do a thing called like Snowcat Mountain during winter. It becomes a whole skiing thing, and then during Halloween they have this awesome Halloween horror nights thing.
Oh, you're talking about
Wait,
Dade
where's
City.
that?
That's
It's here.
Dade
It's just
City.
is it
Oh,
date?
is it the haunted house thing? The haunted.
Yeah.
No. This is the one that they do the big skiing out there. It's in Dade City, south of Brooksville. That's the one that we have not been able to get to because most of the time it's so booked up.
Oh, I feel like that's the one I went the first year with Baby Hands.
Yes,
Baby Hands.
I did
Let's
go,
see.
right? It was pretty
Yeah.
good.
I know that Tree Hoppers is on the same property. That's your
Yes, it is.
property.
Yeah.
And that is okay. So yeah, so as long as it's that same
Yep.
outdoor Pasco County, Florida, is that the same that you're talking?
That's where I live.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. So and she's a big fan of my skincare, and we're doing a little thing where she's gonna give us some VIP passes.
Nice.
And,
Excellent. Good for you.
because I haven't done that Halloween scary thing.
Scream,
you know?
scream again.
Screamageddon.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
That's it. Screamageddon.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
punched somebody in the face by accident there.
Oh my gosh. How could you not? How
Because
could
it
you
scared the
not?
shit out of me. And then somebody
Yeah.
tapped me on the shoulder and I turned around. I was like, boom. You know, I was like, and they're like, oh, I'm like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were right.
That's what happens when Scream Queen goes. Yeah.
I like scream agendas. I like that. Scream
Yes.
agenda.
I knew what you were saying. I read
I do
fluent.
too.
Scream.
But I like the scream agenda. It's very funny.
Yeah. Anyway,
We all have a scream agenda.
There it is. Scream again.
Scream again.
Scream again.
Yes, that is a fun
Yes.
one.
And then we do a whole section here in my office that we create a whole scary tombstone and coffin. And it's there isn't a single other skincare company, especially who hit the Inc. 500 like we did. I guarantee that probably that doesn't create that creates such a scary, disgusting heart, like hanging bodies, nooses,
Oh, I love it.
When's that open? Because of horror and skincare, I'm all about
I know.
it.
I know.
yeah.
It's like two of my favorite things
So-
right there.
Are you doing tours when you do that?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
are you
do
doing
I get
tours?
I know I should. It's getting, every year it gets a little bigger because, you find stuff on sale like, oh, I'm going to need this other skeleton come October. So you buy it and then we keep that. And then it just goes right to Christmas. And I've got a big Christmas background and the giant Santa and like, I just love all of these toys that you can buy now. Like, remember when we were younger, what would we have done to have a giant reindeer
Paper
that's
bags.
animatronic and turns? It's
You
like
put a human in
something.
there.
It's like something from Disneyland, and you could get it from Home Depot for $39.
I actually
Like,
have two. I've got a buck, and then I've got
yeah.
a baby because somebody threw them away. One year somebody threw one away. The next year somebody threw the other one away.
Dude.
I went and I fixed them and I put them up, and now I've got the buck and the baby all lit up. And I was like, oh my God, people are throwing away
Right.
perfectly good trash. I
Yeah.
love that
Right.
trash.
And yet I sort of get it, because to undo them, it's a pain in the ass. And if you've got some disposable cash, you're like, you know what? I'll buy a couple more next year, because they make them pretty reasonably priced. The giant ones at Home Depot, the scary guys that are like 12 feet tall.
Oh, they
my
look like,
God.
they look like the what are the Niflin, the scary monsters.
Yeah.
So my neighbors never wanted to take theirs down because they're so big and the eyes move and everything. So all they did, they left them up for Halloween, and then they decorated them with like leaf garland for Thanksgiving. And then at Christmas they put Santa hats on them. They left them up for 3 months.
My neighbor put theirs up September 1st.
God.
It's already up down the street.
Yep.
Same one's like 15 feet tall.
Yeah.
I just thought it was brilliant. You put
milk the
put a
season
turkey in the one hand. Yeah.
Yeah, milk the season. I love that. It's, you know.
What else do you want to share that you where you going to be, or anything else you got that you want to put out there?
I mean, that's the upcoming. That's the upcoming. You know, every Wednesday night I go live on TikTok on In Your Face skincare.
Awesome.
You know, I give great deals. I answer questions. Like I said, I try and be entertaining. And and then the 30th, aren't we on Thursday the 30th? We're going to do the
right here in Tampa Bay.
Yep, we're going to be in Tampa Bay. Yeah, that's my deal, you know. That's my deal. My book can be bought on Amazon, Naturally Skinny My Ass. You can get that on Amazon.
Love it.
Yeah,
I actually found it on Amazon.
Did you? You know, it's
on
just
my wish list.
different ways of looking at food, you know. It's just different ways to
Awesome. Well,
yeah.
I don't want to hog up
You're
your
amazing.
time, but thank you so much for being here.
I so love this.
We appreciate you being here. I've been trying to get you on for, I don't even know, like a year, basically.
I know. So stupid. So stupid. Now I know
you're very busy. So thank you.
Blah, blah, blah. No, I was like such a fan listening to you talk before I got on. I'm like, look at her go. I love it. It's just
thanks.
Stuff that has meaning. I'm now a fan of your show for sure.
Thank you. Well,
and I could see why you guys are such good friends.
Thanks.
Thank you.
How did you guys meet?
We're cousins, actually.
We're cousins, yes.
So you have to like each other.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, we don't have to.
I don't know about liking each other, but
yeah, right. We tolerate each other. I'm just kidding. Oh boy.
Beautiful. Well, this has been a blast. Yes. Oh, you're from New York too. Yes, I'm from Long Island. I'm a Long Island girl.
Yeah, we're all from Philly. Somebody else was in here from Philly earlier. Said something very sweet, so thank you.
Beautiful.
Oh, and tomorrow is April's birthday.
Get out.
Yes.
It is.
Oh, birthday girl.
That's me.
Yep.
What are you going to do? Oh, right here. Happy birthday, April. Check out her Amazon wish list.
Yes. I don't know, honestly. Probably nothing, because it's Wednesday. Everybody's working. For the first time ever since I've moved here, we don't have a hurricane ruining it. So,
oh my gosh, that's right.
Yeah, every year this time. No, we're not going to have one. My gut feeling is we're just not having one this year because we've already paid our dues. So, and Florida has collectively sacrificed. We have enough human sacrifices to brightline it. So, our rail system, we've given enough people. We're not going to have one this year.
Yep, the fast rail on the other coast.
Now, do you have like otherwise I can get it for you off, but do you have like a PO box that, like, do you have an address you can give me here in person, or do you have to give it to me personally later?
I have both.
No, go ahead.
You have both. Okay. Cause what I want to do, hold on. I want to make an order. Hold on, search, create new customer, April, April. Do I do Hunter?
Yeah.
Okay. Look at, you're like, yeah. Okay. All right. Give me the address I could send something to that is, you can give out right here.
Okay, here it is. 1334 Tampa Road, number 109.
Hear that, everybody? That's where you
Yep.
send gifts.
Number
109.
109.
It's Palm Harbor.
Yes, it is 34683, right?
Yep, that's me.
Okay, good. Search products. I'm going to
Oh,
put
thank
2. Well, I'm going to put the cream, but I'm going to do it times 2 for your cousin.
Oh,
as
thank you.
Oh,
Yeah,
thanks,
you
Denise.
guys.
Appreciate you.
It's you only need the tiniest bit.
Okay.
This isn't your mother's cream. It's not full of all the.
It's emollient. It's very
It is
emollient.
super emollient. Like I take
Good, 'cause
olive
I'm
oil.
chintzy.
I take olive oil and I soak different herbs and green tea and comfrey for 30 days. So you're getting all of that nutrition that gets drawn out into a beautiful infusion. So it's not just dead oil. Like it is an alive elixir.
Ooh, we're
It's
going to talk about
literally,
it on here after I use it.
Oh,
it's literally
absolutely.
vampire worthy. So I'm
I
gonna
know.
good. So I've started this. I'll finish it when I get off of this, but I just needed to get the ball rolling so I didn't yet forget. And then I
Thank
see
you.
you on the 30th and go, oh,
Well, I'll
Oh,
be
thank
looking better than this on the 30th after using it.
hot damn, hot damn. All right, you
Thank you,
guys, I
Denise.
adore you. This was just a treasure, and I feel like I'm a slightly better person because of
Oh,
this interaction.
Thank you.
thank you.
Yes, yes,
All
both
right,
of
we will
you.
see you soon. You have a
Okay.
wonderful weekend. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you.
It's Tuesday. I'm
No,
confused.
no,
I
it's
know.
weekend. Let's just get it done.
And
Enjoy your week.
thank
You
you, thank
too,
you,
guys.
thank you, thank you for being here, everybody. We
Yes.
appreciate you for tuning in to us. Allie, I'm not going to jinx it. I promise we're not having one. Oh, we lost her. So thank you for being here. That was fun. She is such a cool person.
Oh my God.
Eva,
she's
thank you for reminding me incessantly to get her.
amazing. She is amazing.
She is busy. I thought I was busy. She's a busy girl. So anyway, everybody, thank you. I appreciate all the birthday wishes. Nobody sang to me. I'm not going to ask you.
I'm not doing it. I'm horrible.
Somebody better sing to me tomorrow because it's Wednesday. Everybody's busy. They're all working. Everybody's got a life. I'm going to be sitting around by myself opening my presents. So
okay, wait.
I do have a couple presents here, so I'm going to.
Fanboy this weekend. Would everybody see you in
I will be
person
at Fanboy
Saturday?
this weekend on Saturday in Orlando. So come spend my birthday weekend with me.
And they can sing to you in person. Fanboy Saturday,
Damn right.
Orlando.
So, and yes, we will be live next Tuesday. See you next Tuesday with Jimmy G. He will be joining us again. I almost forgot to mention that. Thank you, Allie. So, and if you are interested, once again, if you're interested in that TV thing, the TV situation, Eva's going to dropped the link in. If you want to drop it in one more time into the chat, you can check it out. We did a video on it. It is good stuff. And we will hook you up. Just get in touch with us. And we love you so much. Yes. And mwah. All right. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.